see what I mean? Today was a kind of mad hustle setup to get this thing operational, make sure my boys inside, right, everybody inside it, ting. Yeah, them fellas in a thing there. Hey, fellas, what's going on? Today was rough, boy. Oh Lord, pressure.
Indeed. Good evening. Good on, fellas.
We did.
What's happening? We come back in this space and I don't like it. You see this?
Nah, me I like it either, but boy, today was a must because
this is
no, let me give this story. Today was a must. Last week you had a scenario where one of your co-workers was branded X. So you had to pack aside for some days.
right.
Well, today I go on to do a function prior to coming to go and set up in studio, only to find out when I reach that one of the guys who I happened to be around a couple days ago, he was branded X. So everything had to shut down and I say, well, listen, play it safe, back home. So that's how we end up in this scenario.
This is no King's Stadium.
Yeah.
So easily. So easy. We can skip through and
Yeah, boy.
branded X.
Yeah.
He up and about, but I've now relate a story to a friend of mine on the phone earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
As to how easy you could be exporting this thing into others and you're not aware because you have to now tap back. Remember, he was branded X after the fact and after somebody else's fact that he was exposed to. And so the that effect carried things on.
Yeah, boy.
So it's scary.
It is, huh?
But it's so good to have life. It's so good to have life and I like it in Billboard. Not saying hats off to the
well, let me big him up, Mr. Esmond Jr. Telesford. He freelances with me. He has his own stuff happening. The man, quick boy. I was shocked to see how fast the man put on that work.
Well done.
Well done, JR. Thank you very much. Yeah. And I mean,
cheers for that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that I didn't ask him. He said, Eric, send me some pictures. Guys, send me this, send me that. I said, I don't know what you're gonna do. Next thing the man sent back a sample and said, watch that. I said, but what the jail is this? It's quick time, man. But it's good, but I like it. I really love it.
Top ceiling shrub,
yeah, boy. Unless I want to hear me.
It's like you mute.
No, he unmute, but I know how. Nah, we ain't hear him at all.
I hear you.
Nah. Nothing. Alright. So here what we're gonna do. Let me take the anthem as usual. We could fix this
sort of
behind the scenes off air. Alright, so let me sort that. So ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the show. Thanks again for those of you who already started to log on and jump on and start to send message and looking to call in and all that kind of thing. Stand by. We're taking your calls just now. We'll take the calls just now. But we want to get this thing right. We have a very special guest in house tonight. Some of you know him. You would have seen the flyer and stuff. Some of you don't know who is this gentleman. Of course, generational things have to come into play. But this man has a very interesting life story to share. So, before we get into that, let me go. What am I saying? He freeze or you look like he freezing? And you probably log off to come back in. So let me run the anthem and we'll come back and sort that out.
Hey guys, this is the actual recording. Culture don't close up, culture don't fall out. Written by Mr. Ronald Ford and sang by yours truly.
You never know when a comedian serious or joking. The country was shocked to see Errol Bareback crying. People thought he was living a new TV episode. We cultural archives were heading in a dark hole. How we value Fashion money can't substitute. The images will remain embedded on my mind, and for my conscience I'm reflecting all the time. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. It's a continuum between generations. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. That is how we just pass on tradition, to protect the archives of my people's expression, to save the soul of this great nation. Our people's culture keeps them strong and provides the stimulus to carry on. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. The will of my people make the bailiff up and run. If my dreamy Patsy was wrong and still walking, she would have the bailiff on their toes running. Just would have hit them licks in one of the episodes. Bona St. Rose would have ring she bell and give them blows. Thanks to the generosity of the people of TNT, they save the cultural works of my country. Bassy Henville must be feeling so proud of we for protecting and saving Gaia TV. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. For a few dollars you can't tell culture close up shop. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. It's Western TV, you want me cheer on to watch. What's wrong with seeing people on TV looking like me? You culturize my children with Bert and Ernie. Our people's culture can only be about money. Seeing yourself on TV brings a different energy. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Philomena would have beat them with you bucket and mop. Lang, 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 hey. If Mr. Roscoe was in the mansion that fateful morning, that is where the archives would be storing. Tyler Spade would have come bushy things in the kitchen. Sprang along would have give them a good tongue lashing. It's a serious lesson that the country learned. Your cultural archives must have a permanent home. By the evening they had to leave Gaia TV alone. The power of the people paid off the loan. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Monetizing cultural assets could be rough. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Tell them financiers never all we bluff. It's not easy to foreclose on a people's legacy, to trade their heritage for some small money. Cultural contributors must be turning in their grave as they tried to block the path that they paved. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Monetizing cultural assets could be tough. Dang, da, dang, da, day. Dang, dang, da, da, dang, Kyle was the stomping ground of the great strong along. Tony Hall, Christopher Led, and Wendell Etienne. So much room and stand as a platform to perform. How we cultural legacy would have carry on. We thank Errol Fabian for standing strong and reaching out in the time of need and desperation. Thanks to the people for their contribution to the Gaia TV on its way building back strong. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Gaia TV on its way back to the top. Tell
Right. Let me see.
Willie, good night,
Right.
Willie.
Okay, nice. Right, we back inside. Yeah, no, how I had this thing was literally a makeshift setup to get this thing right. Look, somebody calling already. I was feeling must be calling to tell me XYZ. Let me see what's happening here. Rubber dub dub, you inside?
Inside.
Rubber dub dub, you inside?
Well, Rubber Dub Dub
Uh-huh.
podcast
Nice.
was no calling to information.
Nice.
He was not hearing.
Thank you very much. Situation
Well, nice.
rectified.
Well, nice. So now that rectified later for us.
Nice, man. Thank you.
Nice, cool.
Yeah. You see, when people have your back, that's what we're talking about. Have it covered. So, guys, what's going on? You guys, what happened with all your this week? What happened with all your last week? What happened with all your next week? What's going on with all your life?
Well, let me level. This was a really rough week for me. And I'll say it as it is. I don't know if people recognize, but I'm holistically not in a good space, emotionally, like I said from since last week, I'm dealing with death around me and, people getting sick and I saw something yesterday with this man getting killed in front of his daughter.
Boy.
It's so intense now,
Yeah. Alan, let's take this call.
And
Let's take this call. Yeah.
Very-
Rubber dub dub, you inside?
Good night. I'd
Good
like
night.
to find out something. Good night.
Sure.
I'd like to find out something.
Sure.
So he was alive or he died?
Who's that?
Who?
Tony Hall.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tony Hall passed away.
last
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, about a year
Passed away?
ago. More than a year ago.
Yeah, more than a year
Yeah.
ago.
Tony Hall passed away last year?
No, it was last year, 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years ago. Yeah.
Almost 2 years ago now.
His brother passed away last year. I sprang along.
Last year.
Yeah.
And thanks very much. I wanted to find out that all the time. All
Not
right,
a
then,
problem. Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, Alan.
Is that interesting? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, with all these things, and, a little bit uneasy spiritually and emotionally, kind of set me back, in a sense. And there's this tension around, it's just this tension, because I had, for the last couple of nights, I had to deal with people messaging me about being depressed.
Yeah.
And, and I was just remember, I was sitting at home and I was looking at the news and I was like, I'm fed up with bad news. And I just don't want, I just don't want to hear no more bad news. I'm fed up with them and I just say, I don't want to see the news. I don't want to see the news.
Yeah.
The bad news. And it's tearing up inside because of these, and I can't, I love my space, I love my people, I love my country, I love my children, I love family, I love,
Mm-hmm.
but to see the state that we are in and the kind of war zone that we are creating in different spaces, it just gets to you after a while, right? So I really want us to, be cognizant of, not letting the love fail us. Don't let the love fail. And that's my concern. Love and unity must not fail.
Yeah.
The Bible talk about love never fails. And, it's that, we really need to find a way to recondition the love, redefine the love, reshape and reform this love, so that you can kind of become. I sorry, this is so heavy, but I just can't help but I need to express that. This
Well, it's
space.
the reality of what we exist in. It is what it is.
Yeah. So.
All right, they tell me Alan barely coming through. Let me see what I could do with that. Alan, I hear Alan.
Richie.
No.
No, Richie.
Nah, my son now come and tell
your
me
son.
that, but I hear you good.
All right, cool.
Yeah? Bring it, let me sort out that there. Yeah.
So yeah, so we really had to, I mean, we really had to find ways to push through this situation, um, you know, and find it, because I'm now listening again, and like another prison officer or a police officer was just shot earlier tonight here. So there's this growing feud now, that prison officers now, that I have prison officer partners I had to be concerned for. You understand? I had to be, you know, but again, if you allow the lawless to lead their lawless life, and we're talking about being lawless from the highest realm up, come down. These things are destined to prevail. You understand? So if you don't take action, swift action, and deal with the problems as the way it ought to, you'll always have these problems existing. So, but on a lighter note, we have life, we have health, we have strength, and it's good to be here with the fellas to discuss these things, because I don't think I'm the only one feeling this way. I just think I need to say it for the others that say no, listening to the news and watching the news every day and hearing these things, and they need somebody to just help them ventilate it. We need better. We need to be better.
Yeah. Hey, Susanna, nice to see you all. Have a great show. Love ups, Gael family. Take care. Yes, you too as well. Take care. You keep safe out there wherever you are. Susanna Jofi.
Be good.
Yeah, man. Keep it coming, guys. So, Alistair, what's happening with you? How the family? Ting.
Well, everybody cool, yes. I'm just tired right now.
Wait, don't talk about that. I know. Who would?
Yes.
Actually, strange as it seemed, although we were planning to be in the studio, I'm really kind of glad I hope that I did, because when the show done, I just cried there. Oh God.
Somebody want to dive in the tub, Harriet,
Jeremiah.
Good night to you, man.
Good night.
No diving in the tub, please. Lifeguard is off duty.
Alan walk with you. All right. Our next one coming in, guys. Let's take this now.
I always have my thing,
Yeah. Don't play. Rubber dub inside.
Rubber dub, 3 men and a tub.
Thank you.
Nice, man.
I am.
Good night.
Just wait. Only pause. Wait. This is important.
Very good.
Say that. Wait, hold on. Just say that again. Call her.
I am alive.
Must.
Nice, man.
Yes.
Yes. That must come out clear. That is important.
What
How
went
you-
on in
How you going otherwise? Alan.
good? I want to know what went on in
Yo.
Savannah today.
Oh.
Oh, they had some protests,
Oh.
some match. They had a match on Point 14 to Port Spain.
I only know about that on the radio about Saul. You know that was.
Well,
What is that?
Actually, somebody sent a WhatsApp message to me. That's how I knew about it. I didn't even hear anything about that. So I didn't know at all.
On the news, it's 50 people.
Eh,
There was madness today.
I had to reserve my comment about that.
I
yeah.
would really like to know what it is all about.
All I know is some event they call pushback. What exactly they was pushing back at and why, I don't have specifics. What I do know, it had something to do with the current state of affairs, how the government dealing with things. Because a friend of mine who shared it with me, he sent some pictures. I said, wait, this happening now? He said in Queen's Park, Savannah, ting.
But I was surprised.
Yeah.
Alan, I love your cup.
Thank you.
Yes.
Order for my daughter.
What happened to Alice tonight? I say what happened?
I'm good. I'm here.
Tired.
I'm listening, guys.
Why you
I
tired?
listen a lot.
Tired body, real tired.
No, actually, just about after 8, I actually knocked out on the chair.
Oh, Lord.
And I jumped up just about 9:15, and I was like, wait now, what?
All right.
I'm good. I'm here.
Alan, what you eating there? Alan always eating something.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
Oh,
this
Lord.
is the tub. This is the life of the tub.
I know that
Men
you
don't
can do.
respect the tub.
Virtual tub right now.
Yeah, so that virtual respect.
Still, we could still eat this.
Just watch me, and every time you watch me, just do like a point something.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
So I'm waiting to see you guys, Eric.
Uh-huh.
All right? I'm waiting to see you hear you guys.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, then. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Take care.
Nice. I'm looking for something here before I bring on the guests. Where is this
Alexa.
thing?
Yo.
Let's all go to watch a Christmas tree.
Ah.
Why-
That is a decoration.
Why your Christmas tree bears? This is
It now come out.
No, it's a Christmas
It now come out.
done. At least you have sheet on it. Maybe you want to decorate it with. You don't put the bulbs on the past sheet on it. Let me say a bare Christmas tree.
You like that Christmas tree? That ain't Christmas.
Hey, yeah, man. Let me serve it. Rubber dub inside.
Move from the spot.
Pleasant night, gentlemen. Brian.
Good night. Yes. How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Good after God.
Nice.
I don't know. I had a chance tonight watching at Beyond the Tape, and they showed the video of the prison officer being gunned down in the Southland with his daughter.
Yeah.
As a former member of the TPS, and whilst I recognize that there is innocent still proven guilty and all the intricacies of labor law, I am saying that the Prison Officers Association, together with the Ministry of National Security and the Commissioner of Prisons, must put in a contract that any prison officer found bringing contraband within the prison area lost your work one time, no question asked. I know you're going to tell me about the innocent until proven guilty and all the different facets of labor law, but they must sign a contract saying, if you catch me with that, I lost my work. Full stop. It's them carrying the weed and the phone card and the phone and everything within the prison. And the people that getting killed is the officer who's standing up for writing. But as an ex-CPS member, I transport prisoners. And I tell you, we carry a man in the jail a day and a piece of silver paper sticking out the inners. When they switch to them, you understand? I don't want to make some graphic, but it's what it is.
We know about them thing.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if the officers carrying the stuff in the jail, it's big business. A pack of cigarettes is $500. A piece of weed is $2,000. What is this? So until they get them officers, and I want to talk to Mr. Hines. They had to put that in law. If I catch you bringing contraband, you lost your work, no question asked. We go fight up in the court afterwards. If you win your case, well, you go deal with that. But once I catch you, I'm telling you, if I catch you, you lost your work.
Yeah.
Papi, gentlemen, I watching on.
Thank you, man.
And that video tonight, it touched my heart, boy. It touched me. It touched me as a father and a grandfather. A little girl working with your father. His daddy's the biggest. I protected, and a car pull up and pump some bullet in daddy. And this guy just had to run wild.
Yeah,
that touched my heart, gentlemen. That touched my heart. Anyhow, I locked on, I watching on, and I want my link. I lost my WhatsApp with all you. And if all you're going back virtual, I want my link. I was lucky to be in the 48. I still want to be in the 48.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, my Brian, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hear Eric say we know about them things. I don't know about them things. Silver things sticking out. You know about that?
Yeah, well, I know.
You understand? Maybe.
No, he never said he tried.
No. It's how he said. He said we know about them things. I don't know about that.
You say you try it. It's not that you try.
Don't foil, never stick out any back, anywhere in my back.
Oh, gee,
I didn't even put foil in my back pocket. I never put foil paper in my back pocket. So I didn't even know that much sticking out the backside. But more than anything else.
Look, Joan Morales want to know where you eat it. Like if you're having dinner. She said take your time. Hey, no, but on a serious note, I have always said, if the government seriously want to do something about crime, they could do it. They just had to decide to do it. And you see what that gentleman say? What is so hard in putting that in a contract?
Well, legal framework.
Yeah,
there's some legal framework, I'm sure. No, but I've been told when they come to these guys and they come to man, before you catch them, they be monitoring them, They be really monitoring certain fellas think
but follow what I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's as simple black and white. Just draft this document and that's it. Of course, I'll understand there are certain hoops you'll have to jump, little negotiate. But the thing is, at least start something. You understand? But there's no evidence that there's even an attempt to get something like that going.
It starts with the big kahuna.
I don't know if you realize this. Every 2 or 3 years, every couple years, we just go through the same cycle. Prison officers getting, and then they move in and they rough up some prisoners, it calm down for a while, and then the next like idiot behavior after that. So we go through this thing, we've been here before, and I've been seeing this, and then the prisoners back again and talk, and then they're going to do something about it. But as you rightfully say, the government have to decide on this, once and for all. And one of the things that they have to do, I realize that we having a problem with. You had to deal with the rights of these prisoners inside there. You have too much of freedom.
Thank you very much.
There are some people who are, there are those who are not even, they're still waiting for trial. Right? They're on trial, so they have them in Raymond Yard or whatever the case may be, right? But these guys are sitting down in
not Raymond Yard, you call him man, you say Raymond Yard.
Raymond.
Yeah, the one laughing, he call it.
Not in Raymond's yard. Not in Raymond's yard.
That's not Raymond Yard, that's not the place.
Not in Raymond's yard. But you have these guys are being held. And you're seeing videos of these guys watching TV in their cell block. They have music, DVD, they have internet access, the full 9. And you're wondering how these guys living like lords in a penal system or in a system waiting to be tried. I thought anytime you put in a space like that, your rights have been removed for these things. You understand? Until I don't understand.
The amount of rights them have, you'll be shocked.
That's it.
To believe that is a prison.
Anyhow,
them going in.
You understand? Well, listen, let me bring in my guest because in the corner there, he's shaking his head up and down, side to side. He have some opinions on some stuff. But I think this might be a nice place to bring him in because, of course, with his background and his expertise and his experience, he definitely would have been involved in matters like these in terms of bringing it to the fore, engaging the public and that kind of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest tonight is somebody who I have the privilege of calling a friend and a colleague at the same time. We've interacted in many occasions, in many different ways in the industry. Mr. Raymond Edwards.
Rubber dub, 3 men in a tub.
Hey.
Yes, man, Raymond Yard.
Not my yard at all. Don't put them in my yard at all.
But I want to know, where they're doing by you?
They're not by me. That is... Mr. Gentleman, please pronounce the thing properly. Remand yard.
Remand yard.
Remand, not Raymond. Remand.
Remand yard.
Not my yard. Next thing you know, people start calling me and asking me a set of questions. I'm not able. Not my yard. Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks so much for having me on Rubber Dub.
Welcome. But Raymond, what is your first, before we get into you, what is your opinion on that last thing we was talking about? What the gentleman spoke of? What is your opinion on that?
Well, I wanted to touch on something, and Alistair, I believe it is. No, not Alistair. Alistair in the middle.
Yes.
Alan, yeah.
Alan, you do not give up your rights because you end up in jail. Eh? Now, you are saying that you didn't know they were so comfortable and so on. They're human beings. They have made errors, they have made mistakes, and they are separate and put apart from society. That does not mean that they give up their rights, and they have a right to be treated inhumanely. Now, I have seen some videos, as you have, of parties galore going on allegedly in the prison. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Right?
But that is what we're talking about.
Right, I have family members who are members of the prison service, police service, and other services. So when you hear that a man is killed and gunned down outside his vegetable stall, another one gunned down in front of their daughter, it says something about the lawless nature of society that this is allowed to occur, right? Now, I mean, I don't want to get up on a high horse and start a preach and so on, but taking away the rights of a prisoner to watch a television or do something. Remember, the motto of the prison service is to hold and treat. I wonder many times how much treatment is going on in the prison service, how much efforts or how many efforts are being made to get these gentlemen and ladies to return to society in some sense, if they can return. That's just my take on it.
Raymond, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question, because right now I show 10,000 viewers leaning into the screen want to know. I don't know. So let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
How does a television 32-inch screen end up in a prisoner's cell where he can watch TV and listen to music and throw parties? How is that a right for the prisoner to have if he's being held and treated?
Right.
Because it doesn't seem like he's leaving home. It looks like he moved from one home now to our next home. Just to get back home to continue what you're doing before.
If I would suggest, let us have someone from the Prison Officers Association on Rubber Dub Dub who can answer the specific natures of why a prison is the way it is and what are the rights and privileges of a prisoner in that system. I do not know. I went in the prison a few years, I didn't go to jail. I went in the prison a few years ago to do a story on what was being done to reform these men and women. And let me tell you something.
Right.
Some of those ladies are scary. I was frightened talking to some of them because of the crimes that they committed, right? And have confessed to. People make mistakes and they are to be treated humanely. What does humane treatment mean? I am not sure. I am not a lawyer, nor am I a prison officer. So we need to find out from those who have the responsibility to hold and treat exactly what are the parameters by which they operate. That's all I could say. I fully agree with you. A 32-inch TV, when I can't afford a 32-inch TV in my house, and you have one in your jail cell, seems to be a little off kilter. But let's find out what the realities of the hold and treat mean before we pass judgment on it.
One prison officer actually told me it's about rehabilitating prisoners. You understand? It's a rehabilitative
process.
Trust. Yeah, that the prison or the prison officers are engaged in when it comes to, is that, I mean, I know people can find themselves in some sticky wickets and make errors, and we all could err, right? All could err. But when it comes to these things happening with the society, as I say, it's so lawless. There's no more respect, for, how do we know, that is it, how do we know get that respect back into the prisons when these type of
starts in the
things are
home.
happening.
It
So
starts
how
in
do
the
we get
home.
the respect? Right. But,
It starts in the home.
right now we have a real imbalance of respect for the police officers, prison officers, you understand, soldiers, I guess soldiers. So soldiers is like, all are we. But, there's no respect for law anywhere anymore.
I think a lot of that has to do with how we raise and how we have been raising our families and our I grew up in Shogunas, right? The people who live to the right of us are the Allies. The people who live to the left of us are Macmillans, right? The Macmillans had a prison officer and a police officer in their family, right? The Allies worked in oil and gas and so on. I knew in the Edwards household, if Raymond Edwards had misbehaved, Yassin Ali could cut my tail. The Macmillans could cut my tail. And then they would tell my parents, who would also cut my tail. Now, there are those who will say, no, don't be the children, there is violence. I knew there were consequences, and there have always been consequences for actions. Many of those people who are in our prison system, I believe, do not have, one, a fear of authority, two, believe that there's any consequence for any of their actions. That's just my take on it. And when we get to the root of that problem, you see that, and I don't know if I'm going to lose many friends tonight, but I'm going to say it. You see that nonsense that was in the Queen's Park Savannah today? They did not have a clear indication as to what they were protesting about. They protested 3, 4, 5 different issues.
Madness.
Everything.
Yeah, madness.
Everything.
Madness.
For
madness.
a virus.
And risk. And
risking
that,
my life.
Yeah, everybody's life. No
Basil Pandey said tonight on the news, he said he believes that they should separate the vaccinated from the unvaccinated, right? And he said the reason you can do that is because don't tell me that the unvaccinated have more rights than me and they could make me sick. Come on, man. We have reached a stage where we're not thinking. We have reached a stage where we're just acting on I mean, I'm sounding passionate, but we're acting on passions and rumors.
Emotions.
I have family members telling me nonsense about the vaccine and Anthony Fauci. You ever meet Fauci? You know what Fauci is about? Fauci know anything about you? Come on, man.
Listen.
Come on, man. I mean, we're going on a road here, but
Yeah.
Woo.
No.
Let me chill out.
I want to throw a twist into the whole prison officer thing. And now, we all saw the video, right? It was very, very disheartening. Some people were brought to tears, that kind of thing. But what would a person do to warrant that type of action against him? Because I mean, honestly, I don't want to just say he was good at his job, so that happened to him. I mean, that kind of, if you're good at your job, I mean, somebody being in the service for a while, once you're good at your job and the criminal element know you're good at your job, they tend to respect you more because you do your job without fear or favor, malice or ill will. Right? So it's kind of hard. I mean, it's just to throw a twist in the mixer.
It goes back to the same issue we just raised. How many of those guys have respect because they could call down a shot? How many of those guys feel
that?
No. Well, it's not code, Alan. The code, we see that.
The man, you're standing with your daughter. The man standing with you. Change your mind. Just, okay, the daughter dead.
But they don't care. They don't care.
Again,
they don't care.
What have they done to that family? They have now traumatized another generation. They killed the father and traumatized the daughter, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, what level of respect? How can you re-engender that level of respect You can't tell a man, hey, respect me because I wear a badge and I wear a number.
True.
There's no respect. There's no respect in the society. And one of you said it earlier. It starts at the top, but I want to add, it starts at the bottom and it meets in the middle. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
you know, when I said it starts at the top, and I said that to point to the fact that we have a constitution that is how much years old? How old the constitution is?
1950,
56?
60, 62,
62?
62,
1962
to
now,
now.
right?
Yeah.
So we are about 50 something years old. And in,
Right.
you mean to say in 50 something years, we haven't made not one adjustment to the constitution. And that is why we have
No, I
plenty
don't
of the
think so.
problems. Yeah, that's,
I
you see,
think we
because
made
it-
adjustments there.
There's some that got
But
adjusted, but in terms of
major adjustments that can actually
no,
bring
yeah.
change. Because we make adjustments for certain levels, people in certain levels of society. But what about the adjustments for the man who want to a little lower down? Nothing. Nothing. It's touchy, yeah? It's touchy, but I mean, it real. Right?
I don't want to
So
say adjustments haven't been made, but
No, what I'll say,
changes have been made. Yeah.
they have been made, but to affect who?
Guys, you have a call coming here. Let me take this one.
Yeah, let's take it.
Rubber Dub inside.
Rubber up.
Yeah, Brian again.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Mr. Edwards is saying it starts from the home. But let us go back some years. It was said some years ago that a particular minister went to a police station and take out his stepson. And a particular minister stole some money from the NHA and she was sent to Nigeria. If the people in charge then had jailed or chastised these people for what they would have done, today society would have been different.
understood.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is what I said just now. Like this boy just said, after all these years, we make a change in the constitution. So we have to start making changes. Let the prison officer know if you're doing contraband, you lost your work. Police officer, if I catch you in slackness, you lost your work. When the time come and the courts free you, we go deal with that. But for now, we are saying this is what it is. You watch the Savannah today. A man have a coffin saying, democracy dead. Who preaching democracy dead? The opposition. So you telling me you jump in a Maxine point 40 to come in the Savannah and you ain't ask the imam who paying for them maxi? Who paying for them maxi? That let us face it. Let us face it. Some time ago, just after the election, it was said this government will fall by 2023. And there are some people who doing things to pull down the government. The police today should have sent my PTSD and get 20 bucks. And everybody without a mask, lock them up. That happened. You have to do it. You have to do it.
Lawlessness runs rampant and we're not, dealing with it accordingly. And we have, and that's the thing, we have the laws, they put the thing in place, but it's not being enforced.
Locked on and
Yeah, Brian.
listening.
Yeah, man, Brian. Thank you.
Brian, I hear you. We have the laws, We have things in place, like for instance, that guy with the mask in public. You would walk up to somebody randomly, but because you're in an intense atmosphere, and you see somebody without a mask, why you charge the person? Why you write him up? Why you put him in the van the same way? But you walk up to somebody on the street who might have the mask down of the chin or whatever the case may be, and you put a charge on them. No problem, it's fair. For those in the protests, deal with that even more because they're endangering lives even more. And that's
My
the
thing
problem.
is-
We have the laws, but it's not enforced.
There are times where we as a society have to look on at things and ask hard questions. And you see the questions you're asking tonight? What is the purpose of that?
Yeah.
Who caused that? Who paid for the maxis? When we start to ask these questions again, are we going to like the answers we receive? And are we going to continue to support the answers we receive? I am in no way political. I am not PNM, UNC, COP or anything. I just observe. And you're looking at that nonsense and you're saying, okay, is it an anti-vaxxer protest? No. They shouted 4 different things and got people to repeat. And not taking your whatever vaccine and not no mandate. You hear about any mandate in Trinidad and Tobago? I haven't. There's no mandate. Some say, what nonsense you talking? There's no mandate. Then you hear something about open up our schools. I thought that was what the protest was about initially. Open up the schools to do what? Children are spreading the vaccine. Sorry, the virus.
Super spreaders.
Spreading the virus as well. Right? Open
And
up the schools
spreaders.
further and super spreading it. I mean, I sometimes wonder, where are our brains? Where is our thinking? Where's our rational thought? That's the thing I love about Trinidad and Tobago and have always loved about Trinidad and Tobago. See how you three sit down and you can have a rational, emotional, but rational discussion about issues. Apparently, we have stopped having emotional discussions about issues. We can get upset, we can get angry, but we have to think. We're not thinking, and we need to call for more thought in all of the actions. Question everything. Why are those people in Savannah? Why are they calling for the downfall of the government? Why are they calling for 4 or 5 different topics in a condensed fashion? And I'm sure the caller's going to answer that question.
Let me see. Rub-a-dub-dub, you inside?
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Well, okay, time.
Good night, good night.
Nice, good night, good night. I'm back inside.
Nice one.
Hey.
Nice.
What's
Raymond
up?
asked a question.
Go ahead.
Raymond,
Yes, I can hear you.
yes, Mr. Raymond, you asked a question just now about if these fellas and them thinking. And, you know, my parents used to tell me, my head is not to wear hat. My head is to think. And the only thing that people just think for or program is a whatever you program for a robot, the robot does. So these people and them who go into these things, then you could consider themselves robots or puppets. Because their head, they ain't thinking, they're not rational to ask questions, to debate. Anything anybody tell them, they just jump on a bandwagon. I keep asking over and over about the same set of people with problems with the medical fraternity and the vaccines and what have you and what have you. If today or tomorrow, any one of them gets sick, where they headed up?
In the hospital?
Same medical, either in the hospital, a health center or something. From what I am observing, if you go here, it's because you have faith in the doctors or the medical facilities. So how come if you have faith to go there then, and you go in there all the time, you're up and sprang along the way, and you have a problem with them now? I can't understand these people.
A lawyer friend of mine told me something once. People only act when there is pain involved. So the only reason you get a lawyer is when the pain of the legal system is coming down on you and you need someone to advocate for you. Many times the only time we think about a doctor or appropriate health care is when water more than flour. I mean, I could tell you, I am a diabetic.
To hit the fan.
I'm a cancer survivor. I am obese because I'm still classified as obese. Let me see what other comorbidity do I have? And I took chemotherapy to treat my cancer. So for me, when I was thinking about the vaccine, I said, I have a simple choice. It was very simple for me. I had to get vaccinated because any one of those 4 will kill me.
Will take you out.
It will take me out. I was not going to be willing to wait until I was in a hospital again to face taking a vaccine. Right? And so far so good, healthy and strong. No side effects from this vaccine that everybody seems to be afraid. You're supposed to be young, healthy, and strong, but you're not taking medicine that is good for your body? Come on, man.
But Raymond, I listen. I reach a stage now where you see all you have rubber dub. Every tub sits on your own bottom. Every tub sits on its own bottom now. Listen. I had that situation with my kids. It was the same thing, and I sat down and I spoke to them. I showed them the pros and the cons, and I let them know here where things stand. All you on all you hold. Until it gets to the realization that here where things. They have to do the business, and they went and they organized. You understand? So Raymond, I'm not worrying with these people. I have other things to discuss. Other things important. Right? So fellas, good show as usual. Locked on and listening.
Thank you.
I might jump back in again later. So later.
All right, no problem.
Nice. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Willie.
Well, Raymond, I bring you here to talk about you, but them fellas want to talk there and just...
No, but I have a question for Raymond. Because I have a
talking
question
issues
for
of
Raymond. Well, I have a question for Raymond because Raymond talk about, us being a thinking person and understanding that you've been a part of media for so many years. Was it, what aspect of media were you involved in? Was it journalism or was it just presenting
I consider myself a broadcaster now. But when I started off in 1998, I started off as a news reporter. That was my type.
Right.
So I was trained at Music Radio 97, and at that time it was Radio 104, radio like it used to be. That's where I got my career started, so to speak. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got my career started there. And I started off by being taught the 5 W's and the H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And those simple questions, if we apply them to many of our life questions or issues, you will find an answer. You will find an answer. So
Kiva Clark taught me that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You hear the name you called there?
Yeah, I know. And I know you know who that is.
Yeah, Kiva and I worked together at TTT for years.
Yes. Yeah.
After 97, I went to TTT. After TTT, the original TTT, mind you, with Errol Pilgrim and John Victor and Shelley Das.
So wait on imitation.
Yeah, it's watered down.
No.
The second right now.
The second incarnation.
No. Raymond said right. It's watery.
No, I will not call it watery. I will not call it watery. It's new.
Let me ask you a question. Raymond?
Yeah.
Let me put you on the spot.
Sure.
When it comes to journalism or reporting of yesteryear versus today, with the 4 or the 5W and the H, do you think that happens today with our
yes,
reporting?
It does. Yes, it does.
Are you satisfied with what you see here?
No,
because
I'm
I could call a friend right. That's what I want to hear.
You see, they're two different things.
Why are you not satisfied?
Why am I not satisfied? Okay. My generation looks at the current generation and says, why are you not doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C? The generation that came before mine, men like Errol Pilgrim, Tony Fraser, Jones P. Madeira, Neil Giuseppe, looked at my generation and said, well, what nonsense are these youngsters doing? Right? Every generation looks at the one that went before them and says they were better than me or I am better than them. It's just the natural evolution of things. Management in media, however, management in media has to take responsibility for the quality of media output. Because you can't tell me, you can't compare the TTT of today with the TTT of when I was there. Because let me tell you, after TTT closed down, I went back and was there as a manager of CNMG, which is now the TTT of today. So there's a linear line going through the quality. But if you're talking about the quality of journalism, they ask the questions. I am not necessarily sure that they are being pushed in a particular direction to get the whole, I don't want to say truth, that wouldn't be fair, the whole story out there. Did that answer your question? Does that explain why I'm not satisfied?
I find it, I think, but yeah, but for example,
Alan want you to be blunt.
No,
say they ain't good.
Not be blunt.
That is what he wants.
No.
They ain't good, Alan.
I want to hear from a perspective, because I know a young journalist.
Yes.
She pines about the journalism of today, and she's angry with some of the things that happens in on the as they rightfully say, the full story not being said. Not taking time and do the proper research to ask the type of questions to bring out the full story,
right?
Or the lending to a narrative. So it seems as if it's going in a certain direction.
Ask yourself one other question. Just ask yourself one question before you go. Who owns the media?
Government.
You sure?
But I will say
1%.
Who owns Gael? Who owns Gael?
The people.
Okay.
The people.
Who owns CNC3?
Government.
No?
Hold on, no. 1%.
And Samakal.
Go again.
Hey, 1%.
No, that's not 1%. Don't go down that road. Don't get tied up in that.
So who it is?
It's a company. It's a company. It's a company.
All right.
You understand? Who owns I'm trying to go to. Who owns TV6? No? CCN Group. OCM.
I will never say it doesn't matter who owns it. They will still say the government control it. Right?
Exactly my point.
People who controlling it and who own it is two different things. Control and ownership is not the same. Let me take this one.
CCC.
That I want to tell you
now. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good evening.
You want to get a book?
Good night.
Hi.
Is Eric?
Hello, good night.
Rub it up that phone man in the top.
Buffy. You got Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffy, you listen.
Yes, please.
Yes, is Eric? I don't know. You know how long I call him?
Is Eric Paul?
Yeah.
You know how long I call him? 1 minute to 10. 1 minute past 10.
I'm going to mute all you. Right, I'm going to mute all you. I'm me and Raymond will talk. Go ahead.
Play the people thing for me, please. Play the people thing.
All right, let me take this, Raymond. When we come back, let me talk about Raymond. Because let me find out more about Raymond. All them nice talk that when we find, right, good. But let me come back and talk about Raymond. So let me run the people thing here quick. CCC. In your ways. So, we're coming back.
Quick apology to when you talk people who you mispronounce her name. Jean Morales, you call her June.
Jane?
Jean.
Jean Morales.
You call her June.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
Jean,
said June.
yeah.
Okay.
Godfather.
Jean?
Jean is my name, not June.
Jean?
Jean.
Jean Morales, my humblest apologies. My humblest apologies. But this is one coming from a combination of Denise Plummer and Michelle Sylvester, two queens in their own right, and still pumping hard and doing some great stuff with the music out there. So, hope you could enjoy this one. Take a dance.
Eric, you look for this?
Nobody going outside. Yeah. True story. Ooh, yeah. Miss Sylvester is the name. You might know me from my days. I was tearing up the stage. I was mashing up the place. Who would think a few years later I would change up my behavior to something greater? I get an encounter. God said, listen, daughter, I have an assignment here for you. This ain't what I sent you here to do. Michelle, girl, I love ya. Come back to your father. And right in that moment, my heart was changed. One set of tears I got no more faith and God for amazing grace. Now I turn a different page. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. People say that I ain't changed. Them go say what they go say. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. I tell you, I safe on the inside. Nobody going outside. I safe on the inside. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today. I'm not going to turn back again. In Christ I go stay. It had nothing for me outside there. Michelle, girl, well, anything. My story kinda the same. Calypso I used to sing, and his crown I used to win. Mash up the place all over the world, Switzerland, even England and Spain. Then Jesus called out my name. Was late in the evening, was by the bar drinking, just having a time taking a smoke. But then I heard the Lord spoke, then he's so sleeping. The life of a meeting, and right in that moment my heart was changed. I could never be the same. Thank God for amazing grace. Now I turn a different page. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. People say that I ain't changed. Them go say what they go say. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. I tell you, I safe on the inside. Nobody going outside. I safe on the inside. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today. I'm not going to turn back again. In Christ I go stay. It had nothing for me outside there. It had nothing for me outside there. Say it had nothing for me. It had nothing for me. Nothing for me outside there. No way. No demon in hell can conquer me. I am under a new authority. I can't change my past or change my heart. Bring a new wine out of me. This world have nothing to offer me. In Jesus I find security. I tell you, I safe on the inside. I'm not going back outside. Amazing grace. Now I turn a different page. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. People say that I ain't changed. Them go say what they go say. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. I tell you, I safe on the inside. Nobody going outside. I safe on the inside. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today. I'm not going to turn back again. In Christ I go stay. It had nothing for me outside there. And nothing for me. No. Nobody can stop my praise. Nobody can stop my praise. It had nothing for we. No. Tell them it has nothing for we outside there. Nobody going outside. I'm not going nowhere. I'm leaning on the Lord's side today.
Nice.
Yeah, man, and we back inside. Queen's performing, that's what we're talking about. So I hope all you get up and dance to that. So here's what we want to do. We want to finally get into the man. It's Mr. Raymond Edwards. We want to get to know more about him because Raymond, as far as I'm concerned, has a very interesting story. I reminded him about that incident some years ago that impacted me in terms of how he dealt with things, and we had a nice conversation, but you hear about that. So Raymond, let me get on the road. How you started? You said 23 years? It's 23 years in media?
Years. in some form or the other. As I told you, I consider myself a broadcaster, no longer a journalist. I don't deal with the hardcore news, but I still pay attention to the news every day. I started off back in 1998 at Music Radio 97 on Radio 104. There's an interesting story about that, how I got my job in media. Radio 104 used to play a lot of old-time music, and the broadcaster would say, broadcasting from Cumberland Hill, this is Radio 104.
Alan, we hear you busting up there. We hear you busting up.
Yeah, open your pack out.
Yeah, better one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to find out what his radio station was, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I climbed Cumberland Hill. Right?
Okay.
I walked up Cumberland Hill, and when I got to the top, there was nothing up there but workmen who were looking at me in complete astonishment. Like, where you come from? And they say, oh, Radio 104, nah, that's down in Long Circular Mall, that's 97. So I went back home, and I picked up the phone, and I called, and a guy called Peter Ames answered the phone. And Mr. Ames said, so you want to work for 104, eh? You have to name this song. And the man put on a piece of clarinet music, boy, and my brain started rattling. So I was like, all right, the only clarinetist I know who is of any major note is Benny Goodman, and I recognize the song. I said, the song is Take the A Train. So I said, yeah, well, clearly that is Take the A Train by Benny Goodman. He says, that's a good guess, but you're wrong. And my heart just sank. And I said, oh Lord, don't tell me that I lost my opportunity here. That's the thing. He said, but I'm not the man you ought to talk to, you know. The man you ought to talk to is a man called Jean Demiac. I will let him know that that you called, and I'll set up an interview for you. And Demiac called me into his office the Monday, I believe it was. This would have been the Friday into the Saturday. Called me into his office the Monday, and he said, you climbed Cumberland Hill? I said, yeah. And he told the story afterwards that was the reason he hired. Because he said anybody who is dedicated enough to walk up Cumberland Hill for a job, we have to have working here. And I never took it for granted. I never tried to diminish his trust in me. And I worked really hard, tried to learn, catch my tail, because I was coming in green at 24. Right? But I wanted to be on the air, wanted to be a broadcaster. And I had great teachers like Garfield King, Tony Fraser, his name slips me now. He was working in Antigua at the time. Julian Rogers, right? These are all Harold Thompson. These were all influencers on my career when I started off at 97. And I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from there, I went to TTT. From TTT, as I said, I went to CNMG.
What year
from
you went
CNMG,
to TTT? What year
I went
you
to TTT in 2001, I believe.
Okay.
2001. Yeah, the dates get a little fuddled in my mind. 1990. Yeah. I spent 5 years at 97, starting in 98. So 98 to 99, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002 thereabouts.
Okay.
Right? 2001 to 2002. And I spent 3 years at TTT until they closed the doors. So they closed in 2005. Yeah? And then they reopened as CNMG.
Yeah.
And we tried to do things differently. There were a number of firsts in that incarnation. Right? I think at TTT I met somebody named Eric Alvarez doing some kind of stuff.
Some training and thing. Yeah.
Some sort of stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
But TTT was where I really got my broadcaster's feet wet. Under Sharon Pitt and Gail Sigubin. I worked a lot at on the radio side of things. I also did some television. And that continued into CNMG. And I finally left active media in 2009. Although I would still appear on the radio every now and again doing different things. I left active media in 2009.
Yeah.
And I still kind of work in media today. I do government information service. The government, let me get the name right. Office of the Prime Minister Communications.
Yeah.
That is the title. And I am a multimedia producer for the Office of the Prime Minister Communication.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's what I do now.
Well, when them guys have questions, they will ask, But what are some of your, well, let me say some, but one of your standout moments in your mind, in your career? What would be one?
It was one of my standout. The thing is,
There's so many.
I enjoy.
Wow.
I think so. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I've had the opportunity. If I were not in first journalism, I would not have had the opportunity to meet all the prime ministers and I'm talking from Basdeo Pandey up to the current prime minister. I would not have had that opportunity. I would not have had the opportunity to meet all the presidents, right? I've met every single one of the presidents of our country. And that to me was an outstanding honor. I've had the privilege of broadcasting national ceremonies and broadcasting little bits of news from here, there, and everywhere. So there's no one thing that stands out in my mind that says, I did this, so I did that.
Yeah.
I'm just proud of everything that I've done.
All right, I was kind of giving them fellas chance, but they may have no question.
No, I say, well, the thing is, no, and because we were discussing something earlier on, and, in terms of you switching from switching to broadcasting, you understand? When you made that transition from CNN to CNMG, what transpired after that? Because CNMG didn't last too long.
Well, I left in 2009, and I went into communications work, right? And so that is where I realized I had to leave the journalism side of my life behind, because I was now a spokesperson for someone, right? As I said before, I have no political affiliation. I will vote for anybody. I've voted for PNM ministers. I've voted for COP minister. Not necessarily once they're paying. Once I believe I can be of service to the nation, right? That to me is the focus. Yeah, of course I want to get paid.
But then we're telling about, man.
But there's not once they're paying. You see, once they're paying gives a particular connotation.
I will
vote for money.
Kind of thing.
A list that give it a connotation. A list that give it a connotation.
It is not that.
You get a call.
Nah. You just had a break here.
Rub it up inside.
Yeah, inside.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
You're not asking this goodly gentleman what all you should ask him. Ask him about his career in music.
We come into that man, right?
It's coming.
But no one should ask any question.
We come into that.
Christmas tunes and thingy this thing.
Yeah, we come into that. Yeah, man.
Ask the question.
But thank you very much.
But now she asked.
But as you have any question, you want to pose a question to him? Or you want to tell him anything? All right, she gone. She jumped in my man.
She asked that question.
Yeah. She find me taking too long to get to that.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Talking about money and
about the music. Let's see about the career.
Well, actually, that's the next part I want to swing to, but I wanted to take it from your involvement in one of the big productions that we had locally called Scouting for Talent. And we had a transition from Holly, and then, what's his name?
Neil Giuseppe.
Took over, revamped, had some changes in the structure and whatnot. And I remember you were a contestant on that particular event. I was actually training at TTT that time. And I want to bring that why I ask you about standout moments for you, because there was something that happened with you that was a standout moment to me, that had a particular impact on me, that caused me to have a certain level of respect for you and admiration after all these years. And it was a particular final. It was going to be shot in Naparima Bowl.
Correct.
And you reached half an hour late. And for the dress rehearsal, and you were put as an alternate, and somebody was replaced You was replaced
Actually,
by somebody.
Yeah, that was the rules of the show. Now, Neil Giuseppe and I get along beautifully. I have never held any of that against him. You know why? From day one that we entered the show, from day one, from minute one, he said, listen, I am a man of time. And if you come late, I will put you off the show. He wanted to ensure that the final show went without a hitch.
Yeah.
All contestants were instructed to be at Naparima Bowl no later than 12 noon. The show was being shot 8 o'clock in the night.
Wow.
We had to be there by that time. Now, the reasons that I was late are not important, right? Because that goes into a whole different set of stories. But I took the responsibility on my chest because I was late.
Yeah.
I called, I informed them, listen, I'm in a taxi, I'm on my way, but I'm running late. And I was told, if you don't get here by 12 o'clock, you're off the show.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, and to me, I could understand that. It's about discipline. That is why to this day, I try wherever I'm going.
Yeah.
If you call me for 8 o'clock and you tell me my call time is 8 o'clock, I try to be there 10 to 8, quarter to 8, 7:30, to make sure that I am there on time and ahead of time. So I got to San Fernando at 12:30 and I was informed I was off the show.
Yeah.
People lobbied, people made noise, people carry on. Oh, you're doing this to the man. He wasn't doing anything. Mr. Giuseppe had his rules. And I breached the rules.
Yeah.
I got put off the show.
And
End of discussion.
And that's what I looked at, Raymond. Because I saw all of that. Of course, as I said, I was there. Right? I was training, so we shot the event. I was part of the crew. But I looked at you. I seen all of that. I listened to people and I'm watching their behavior. But I'm looking at you. Look how this man dealing with this. Look at the level of discipline, the level of decorum, and it is what it is. You ain't try to explain away, and it is what it is.
Because that had nothing to do with my being there.
Yeah, but the level of maturity was amazing, and that never left me. That never left me.
Maybe I thought about it differently. I could have caused the bacchanal. I could have made noise. I could have called this one. I could have called that one. But that doesn't make sense because that is not my final stop in life. Look, I'm here with you guys talking about an incident that happened 1990 something. Umpteen years ago.
Yeah.
And it still resonates with you. And the choices that we make in life, and this is how I operate my life, the choices that we make today are not for today.
Yeah.
They're for tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And if you live good with people, you're good.
Yeah.
As I said, I admire Mr. Giuseppe so much as a mentor, as a journalist. I mean, he's one of those classic journalists that I said you look up to. And I've had the opportunity to work with him and work with people like him. Got the opportunity to work with him on the show. But you have to admire when people set rules and stick to it. This is your call time. If you're not here on time, you're off the show.
Yeah.
He stuck to his word, and I stuck to mine.
Raymond, did you ever get to speak to him about it after? Like, you know,
absolutely. He wrote it in
table?
his book. He wrote about it in his book.
Wow.
Serious?
And yeah, it is in his autobiography.
Wow.
He said it's one of, I think the quote was, it was one of the hardest decisions he ever had to make. But I am so pleased that he made the decision because it showed that he was a man of his word and he was a man of character.
Integrity
and
and
he
character.
Stuck to his word. And it's something that I also have applied in my life. I always tell people, if I promise to bust your head, it come in. Because I'm a man of my word.
Yeah, you gotta keep it promise.
I'm a man of my word. So
Tired said grace is an awesome thing. Yeah.
Indeed.
But this is
So,
for you.
Yeah.
The boss people on national TV.
No, but Raymond,
It's just a promise.
in terms of your musical career, that didn't put any damper or dent in it clearly because
Absolutely
you know
not.
the
lady
caller
calling.
now she's asking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah.
about your musical career since then, you know, or
All right.
during
Well,
that.
I could go
during-
back
Because
a
you
little
actually
bit
came
before
back.
that because
You actually came
Sure,
back to
sure.
Scouting for Talent again, huh?
correct,
And you went-
correct, and that led to an interesting story about my health. But my career started back in 1993 with the Trinidad and Tobago Music Festival. I also appeared in the Caribbean Song Festival. I think I placed 5th in that. And then Scouting for Talent after that. Now, I have to tell you all a little secret. I don't like competitions. Never have. Never will. That is why, up to this day, I sing with 2 of the finest tenors in Trinidad and Tobago. And people always wonder, but how it is all you could get along so well and don't be competing and everything? Because it's not a competition.
Compliment, not
I
compete.
don't compete with Eddie Kamabach. I don't compete with Nigel Floyd. And they don't compete with me. And that makes a wonderful, unified sound that you'll get to hear in a little bit, right? We don't compete against each other. I've never liked competition. But since then, let me see, what else have I done? So I've been singing, a lot of people know me from the Christmas album that I produced in 2006. I was telling Eric, jokingly off the air, that is what paid for my wedding. So I have to thank all of you who bought the album and who continue to buy the album. It's still available.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
Take it, man. Take it.
Shameless plug. But yeah, we did a Christmas album with a lot of my friends in 2006. And that album still plays on the air up to this day. And as I said, we still have a few copies left. And it has also led to my belief in something called friendship equity. Let me explain what that is. There are many times you do things for people without thinking about it, and you do it out of the generosity of your heart, and people don't ever forget. And when the opportunity comes for them to serve or to give back to you, they lovingly and appreciatively do it. I call that friendship equity. And because of friendship equity, it has allowed me to be able to do many of the things that I've done in music in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
And like you don't believe me.
So
no, I believe you. I'm looking at something.
I wanted.
I thought you were eating snacks again.
Yeah,
I am eating
I wanted
something,
to. I want to go back to that discussion we were having. I want you to share this.
Sure.
Because the first time, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I put it out there. Those of you who know Raymond knows it, but Raymond, as he mentioned, he's a cancer survivor. Has been
Two-time cancer survivor.
Well, look at that. Well, I didn't even know that. 2-time cancer survivor. Yeah.
2 times, yeah.
And so it was interesting how you discovered that whole thing where you telling me from another Scouting for Talent scenario.
Well, what happened is the Scouting for Talent that I did appear in the final, we went to the award show, and that was being shot at TTT. And the morning I was at work, I had a headache, and I took 2 aspirin. And later on in the evening, my then girlfriend, my now wife, good evening, darling. She's watching in the other room. Yeah, my now wife and I went to the award ceremony, and my stomach started giving a little gripe. So I went to the bathroom, and I passed out. When I got up, and I mean, forgive me, the next couple of segments we're gonna be talking graphically and straightforward as men. When I looked behind me in the bathroom, nothing but blood.
Wow.
I was bleeding out of my anus. Right? And yeah, Neil Giuseppe came to the door and he said, "Raymond, you all right? I'm not seeing you. What's happening?" I said, "Mr. Giuseppe, I am bleeding." He said, "You all right?" I said, "I think I can make it." I went back to the gazebo area at the time, collected my prize, waited till the end of the show, and then told my wife, she was my girlfriend, as I said, told her, I said, "Babes, take me to the hospital." And I went to the Port of Spain General Hospital, and I spent 5 days on a ward. Turns out that the aspirin had impacted on an ulcer in my stomach and caused it to bleed. 2 years later, was when we discovered that I had the colon cancer. Now, the interesting thing is, people don't like to say cancer. People don't like to address cancer. I've been dealing with cancer my entire life. My father died of cancer, and he had cancer 3 times. My younger brother died of cancer in 2017, right? I have had cancer twice. So I've been dealing with cancer my entire life. So after we did a whole bunch of tests, I mean, they diagnosed me with everything: diverticulitis, Crohn's disease. They thought it was all of that. The surgeon who I was dealing with, he said, Ray, I suspect you may have cancer, but the only way we will know is if we do a CT scan. So I did the CT scan, and there was a mass in my ascending colon. You know how your colon goes like this, then across, and then down, right? So my ascending colon, there was a gigantic mass there, and he said, all right, you have to do surgery. So in we went. He removed my ascending colon and reconnected my bowels. And my running joke from 2003 until 2019 was that I had a semicolon.
Yes.
Now what's the interesting thing is,
It's a good thing you can say it.
but if I can't laugh at myself, who gonna laugh at me? You know what I mean? Now, in 2003, I was in a lot of pain. I had open surgery, and it was really, really dramatic. I was in a lot of pain. In 2019, though, interestingly, my brother, as I said, went through his process. He had cancer twice, and he passed away in 2017. In 2019, it was different. I was gaining a lot of weight. As you will see in the footage when we show it a little bit, I was huge. And I was not really eating strangely. I wasn't eating well, let me be honest. But I wasn't eating strangely. And I was just gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And I couldn't figure it out. Eventually, I was taken to West Shore. And they gave me a diuretic. And I dropped about maybe 30, 40 pounds in water alone, water weight. Eventually, I went back to the doctor and I said, Doc, you know, I seem to be losing quite a bit of weight. It's going well, but I keep seeing this iron supplement you all gave me in the hospital. It's still coming out in my stool. He said, I didn't give you anything that's supposed to be coming out of your stool 2 weeks later. You need to go and have a colonoscopy then. So, went back, had a colonoscopy. Dr. Maria Bartholomew, brilliant colonoscopy. And men, let me tell men something.
Go ahead. Oh,
it's no shame taking it up the behind. It is no shame getting your prostate checked.
When you put it like that,
shame.
You can't put it like that, man. You can't put it like that.
Straight. I put it straight.
Like
you have to take it. How did the Prime Minister say? I don't know. He said, what his partner tell him? I don't want no finger up my bottom. We have to take it. That's the only way to check. That's the only way to check. That is the only way to check, my brother.
Up the butt.
Take it. No, let me explain something to you before we go. When you do a colonoscopy, you have 2 ways you could do it. You can take a sedative, which will make you very calm and very pliable on the table, and you won't remember anything coming out of the procedure.
I want to be controlled.
No, let me finish this. When the doctor went up and was looking around, I remember very clearly. She went and I spotted it in the camera, something black. And I heard her go, "Ooh." And then she pulled the scope out. Right. And I said, "Doc, what's that?" Just a minute. And she's typing. I said, Doc, I have cancer again. She said, "Yep." Wow. This time there was no pain. There was no anything. It was just sitting there in my transverse colon.
Wow.
Thankfully, the medication that they gave me caused it to bleed, and that's how we found it the second time.
Wow.
So I went in for major surgery again in 2019. Actually, I had surgery on my sister's birthday, October 19th, and I was recovering on my anniversary. My wife gave me a wonderful gift on my anniversary. You know, when you come out of surgery, you have the little pulse oximeter on your hand, and it's causing the machine to go beep, beep, beep. Apparently, they put me back in the bed, and my pulse machine slipped off my finger. And it gave a long...
Oh, gosh.
And my wife told me, she said, Raymond, she's standing up over me, Raymond, Raymond. She said she bust one slap on me. And then she realized, oh, the thing slipped off his finger. Okay, slipped it back on.
And just to make sure.
Thankfully, I was under level drugs, so I did not feel the love.
Yeah. But I must say, I'm happy. I'm thinking that you caught it early, both times.
I caught it. The first time it was a stage 2. The second time it was a stage 3. Now, there are different stages of the cancer.
Yeah.
So stage 3, mine was a stage 3-1. So it had spread to one lymph node. Okay. So what the doctor did, he removed the rest of my colon. Because he said, in that case, it will never come back. My cancer seems to like my colon. Yeah. So if he had removed just the portion that was affected, it would have some place to grow. And then, again, graphic connection coming up, but I have to describe it. He reconnected my small intestine to my anus. So what that basically means... No boy, not this time. I don't have a question mark or anything. I have a full stop. Right? So my small intestine is connected, and that allows me to go off normally. Right? When I say relatively normally, I just have to be careful what I eat, because your large intestine or your colon is where your food is processed and you gain the nutrients. So it's very easy, if I'm not eating enough protein, to lose a lot of size, and I could starve to death and not even know it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, wow.
So I'm very conscious about what I eat. And so if you see me out there eating a nice piece of chicken, don't come and snatch it out. I'm eating my protein. Yeah?
Doubles and thing?
No, I can eat doubles. I just can't eat as much. The chana is high in protein.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm on a high protein diet.
Not too much.
So we're supposed to have some music that we could that you sang. We have some footage, Eric.
We'll get to that. I realize Alan don't want to talk about the
No.
You running from it.
Listen, I don't have. You say 2 options. I don't say A, and I close. My whole A is closed up after that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Take
the medication.
What's happening?
It's fine.
And when I
take the medication.
I want to be in control of what's happening.
No.
Then take the medication.
When I get up,
when you get up, you'll be fine. When you get up, you'll be fine. Take the medication. Trust me.
Yeah. So Alan, you taking the medication? You're going to calm yourself.
Sedate me, please. Yes, please. Yes.
But no, seriously though, gentlemen, we're all at a particular age now where our prostate glands have to get checked, right? And I would recommend to all of our viewers right now, if you are 40, they say 40 and above, go and schedule a colonoscopy and have it done.
Right.
You will feel better when the doctor tells you, listen, you're all clear. Get your men. We're in the month of November. That's why you're growing the little beard and thing. November, right? Go and get your prostate checked. It doesn't hurt to get those things checked, and you will be healthy and strong and here for your family in the future. Just get it checked. That's all. Be a man. Get it checked.
Yeah, man. Hey, you have a call coming in. Let's take this one.
I know it check when I up, yes?
Rubber dub.
Rubber dub.
Hello.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
buddy.
Sorry?
Yes, good night. You're on.
I'm on?
Yes.
Yeah,
live
you
on
are,
the
you're
air?
live.
All right. Hi. Good night, everyone.
Good night, good night.
Yeah, Raymond, this is,
Yes,
you
sir.
remember before way back, this is Gary, the freighter here. I'm sure you know who am
Hey, Gary, how are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah,
Glad to hear your
very different.
testimonies. And I just want to endorse your, I did a color me as well. But that was, it's not as bad as it seemed, you know. I mean, the guy saying, I did it unsedated. You know, I took a chance, I took it unsedated, and it wasn't that uncomfortable as men think it is. Because what I had is difficult to pronounce the word, the victilitis, that same thing that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm,
right.
Diverticulitis,
So,
yes.
right, and that is, and it's advisable to take it every 5 years. And especially as men pass a certain age, particularly with prostate cancer. My dad died from that eventually. And so to catch it early, as the guy was one of the guys in the middle there was saying, it's advantageous for us to catch it very early. It saves us a lot of trouble. It gives us a lot of the ease. Anyhow, let's get to the music. What are you doing now in terms of, are you singing for Christmas? What's happening with that? How is your, your music career going? You said you have a LP. Is it an LP or we don't go with LP again? We go with CD and so on,
it's a CD. It's a CD.
A CD, right? Yeah. So
10 strong songs in a row.
Right. So I'll touch base with that in the future. But what's happening with your music career right now, and what is happening? Are you doing anything for Christmas? All right. Good night, everybody, and thanks for the program. Right.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks very much. I could answer that very quickly. QED, the group that I'm involved in, that's Eddie Cumberbatch, Nigel Floyd, and myself, are not doing anything actively for Christmas. If we're invited to perform somewhere and we can get the option to do it virtually, we will do that. Because we have to be real. I am super compromised. Although I am vaccinated, I also have to be very conscious of where I go and what I do. So we have decided not to have a concert this year, as we normally do. We usually have 2 concerts a year, one at Christmas time and down memory lane somewhere in June. So we're looking forward towards June. Hopefully, more people will get vaccinated. Hopefully, more people will get vaccinated. Hopefully, more people will get vaccinated. And we can have a full, no boy. I am so concerned about having a concert and it turning into a super spreader event because I would feel personally responsible. So I want to know that my audience is safe, that my cast is safe, that I am safe, and then we could perform Up a Storm. You're going to hear a little bit of the music in a little bit. I hear Eric clicking away, boy, gearing it up and ready for them.
No. I don't see anything already. Well, let's take a quick break, guys, and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more of the music, and we have a nice little game we want to involve you folks with. I think you'll enjoy it. You'll get a chance to hear some of the music, but still enjoy, a nice little fun time with Raymond, as the case may be. So let's take a little break quick.
Girl, let me see me in the place one touch me. I see me in the place one touch me. Girl, you're about when them friend touch me. Can't believe until I them get touch me. When them girl get a taste, them coulda swear Cadbury sponsor me all night. No girl get wicked at the knees. My flavor right feels so sweet all night. My kind of style she like. slow like you belong. I rough it up like when the cops come. Afraid that I make it to know I slow down. And she said increase the speed up and I cruise down. She said she never feel the same.
Welcome to your one-stop shop for all your vocal acting, audio advertising, and production needs. KV Voiceover Production Services takes care of all voicing requirements and are equipped to supply the right voice for all your advertisements, narrations, and audio voicing for virtual and live events. You can visit us online at www.kvvoice.com or contact us at 493-5387 or email at kvvpro1@gmail.com. KV Voiceover Production Services. We've got the voice to make things happen.
That the nurse wanted me to see this for a specific reason. Because when I took him to the room, it was the first time I'm going in the hospital with him, and she's like, stand right here, don't worry. I said I could go outside. She goes, no, stay right here. And she's going to take this catheter out, and she starts yanking this catheter. Listen, every pull, I was like, hey, 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 hey. And she just
leave it alone.
And
leave it alone.
This cord, and every time she pull, he's going, oh God, oh God. And I like, by the time, when she was, by the time she pull it out, I say her outside. I'm going outside. And I ran out of the room. I ran out of the room. Because they had to take that, they had to put back one inside there when they're done.
Correct.
Correct. Yes, what? I say, go on. I don't see the best.
What?
Yeah, that is rough. I remember once I was in the hospital, and the doctors decided they were going to put a catheter in a guy. I was in a men's ward, and this catheter room was behind a wall, and all we heard was, the whole ward got quiet. You could have heard a pin drop. We had to deal with the facts. If we don't get our prostates checked, we're going to end up having to put in and take out catheters and these sorts of things. So go and get checked. Go and get checked. Go on. The check
Bend
better
over.
than the...
Bend over.
It's more like lie on your side and tuck your knees into
lie
your
on your side and breathe in me up.
I want to be up.
I'm waiting patiently to hear the music. What the hell is this? What the Harriet, boy? Harriet, you could go on Raymond.
Let's hear the music. The people want to hear Raymond, man. Let's go.
Want to hear the voice.
No, but we're doing it a little different.
Yeah.
A little different. We want to have a little fun, Raymond. So,
all right.
Let's do it.
Raymond, as he said, they have these events that they do every so often. And I was fortunate to do one with them.
Friendship Equity?
Yeah, down memory lane. I was fortunate to do that. But here's what we want to do. We want to have a little fun. What I did with this, like about a minute and a half, I took some of the songs that Raymond and they sang at the event. Did a little capsule something. But here's what we want to do. The songs are from popular, older, again, down memory lane, but some popular older sitcoms and movies and daytime soaps and that kind of stuff. Or even some pop, that you would have found in the disco and thing in that era. So we want to check your brain now to see how many of you could remember some of these songs. So what we're going to do, I'm going to play these songs one by one. I'll play it, pause, and I'll give you a chance to either call or text to identify what the song is. And Raymond will verify because, of course, he is one of the people who sang. And he can say, okay, you're right, you're wrong. And let me see who can end up with some bragging rights tonight. All right? So
here we go.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just do one quick thing here.
You don't want to give out the number?
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, the number there, man, right? So 715-4522. Call us if you think you had the answer. Let me just make sure and set this thing up proper. Bam, 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 right here. Nice. So, You coming with the first one.
Because there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name.
Anybody know that one?
You want we say it or you want the callers are calling?
No, I want the callers.
Callers calling quickly.
Yeah. Let me run it for you again.
And I catch it one time.
Because there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name.
Cut it.
Let me see who. Let me see who.
That's too easy.
Yeah, well, for
That's
you,
too
maybe,
easy.
but you might be surprised to know how people don't know it.
Unless I'm looking
Alistair, why you looking lost, so?
Alistair lost.
I looking like I want to see.
You're lost. Alistair know who shows that.
Yeah.
I studied the show. It looked like I was in the show.
Let me give them a few seconds and then we'll just name it and go to the next one.
Where everybody knows your name.
We have a call coming in. Robert Dub, you inside. Oops, my bad. Caller, go ahead.
That's the team for Chairs.
Boy.
Of course. Well played.
Correct. Well done.
That's it.
Nicely.
Then Gemma from South there.
5 points, man.
Gemma from South.
Sam Fres.
Gemma from South. Nicely.
From Champlain.
Sam Fres.
Okay.
All right, Champlain. Well played, Gemma.
All right.
Alistair now learn which Alistair likes Chairs.
Somebody else was calling.
I
see somebody else was calling. All right, so suppose other person was calling. Try this one.
Should have been somebody else.
Let me see.
I can never remember the name of it. I know this show, but I can never remember the name of it. Yeah. That show was
Play it again for
hilarious.
them, Eric. Play it again for them.
It was very hilarious.
All right, let me see if I can get this.
Yeah, then you feel like I own like the road, like all go bro.
Yeah. Next song. I'm walking on it.
And you still don't know the name of the song?
I don't know the name of the song, but I don't know the name of the I forget the name of the show.
But you're singing it?
I know this show.
Singing it.
I just forget.
Let me see
I forget the name of the show.
You forget the name of the show. The name of the show is the name of the song.
Yeah.
Really?
The name of the show is the name of the song. That's a big clue.
And I want to see who
should have been somebody else.
Your audio real low, boy. Your audio, I hear.
Me?
Yeah, everybody else real loud and you commentary real easy.
How long? Because I was on all the time. Recent that?
Yeah.
I hear everybody loud and
clear. It's better now? No,
yeah,
I had to put a gate because rain was falling up here, boy. Already
that's right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It went down real.
So the callers, no callers. The name of the song is The Greatest American Hero, from the show of the same name, Greatest American Hero. It was a show about this guy who got touched by an alien and became like Super Grover.
Let me see.
He used to fall and crash.
Very funny. I go and look for that again. Greatest American Hero.
Hello,
Eric. Yeah, that is Mary Tyler Moore.
Ooh.
No?
No.
All right.
No. That was Greatest American Hero. Greatest American Hero.
A YouTube guest.
And that was the theme song from Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, let's spell another YouTube guest.
Let's say YouTube guest.
All right, cool.
Hey, thanks for the call.
I say that because I know who it is.
Alistair will get number 3.
Let's try
next. Get number 3.
Yeah.
You feel so? Let me see.
I feel so.
That's so.
Yeah, I'm faithful, man. I like that.
Right.
I like that. Nah, it's on.
Let's stay on get it.
the show.
All right.
They got
No.
a nice long one.
Interesting thing is, we will accept two answers. The actual name of the song, right? And we will accept the TV show that it came from.
Right,
Because it
yes.
goes by both names. So either one will be perfect. Right? Because that was an actual song before it was attached to the television show.
Yes.
I don't know.
So let me give them it again.
Yeah.
Right? One more time.
I think I know it is. I think I know
And
it is.
bonus points if you could name who the saxophonist was.
Somebody said taxi, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know this.
Somebody typed in and said?
Yeah, they say taxi.
Taxi.
It is.
Absolutely correct. It's the theme song from Taxi.
Correct is right.
It is Taxi.
But the
Correct
actual
is
name of
right.
the song is... Let me see if you're good.
Well, let somebody call it. Hold on. Somebody call it. Let's see if they
All
have
right.
it. Rubber dub dub you inside.
Rubber dub again.
Good night, good night.
What is it?
Angela from the team of the movie Taxi.
Angela.
Well done.
Understand it, Gemma?
Hey, good night. Hello, you listener. What's up?
So, Angela, you're a Bob James fan.
Okay, she go.
I said Gemma.
And Angela
Gemma.
knows her smooth jazz.
Yeah, man.
So, Gemma knows her smooth
Gemma
jazz.
knows her smooth jazz.
That is
That's
Angela
Angela.
from Bob James. And it's also the theme song from Taxi.
Taxi. Yeah. Okay, let's take a next
Very
one.
nice.
So, number 4.
One of my favorites.
Come on, man. Get it. I just cut it. Cut
Leave
it.
yourself,
Right?
leave yourself now, boy.
But
I know it.
the man, you get caught, you know it, you get also. I tell you.
That one should be really easy.
You must smell out
If you watch
when the people
TV during the 80s.
reminiscing.
Right,
When the people reminiscing, you must let them mellow out.
Let me give them a take two. We have a corner. Rubber dub dub you inside.
Moonlighting.
That's it.
Moonlighting.
That's it.
Nice.
You know who acted Moonlighting?
And that, yes. And the song and the movie was the same name.
Yeah, well, who acted Moonlighting? Alistair.
Oh, you go on. Yeah.
Alistair.
What? Brother.
What about?
Brother.
Wait.
A very popular action star.
Wait.
Current action star.
Big action star acting Moonlighting.
Brother, I am not of your era. You answer.
Do you understand?
I stay
Could you learn?
I am staying in my lane, brother.
Don't try to play young boy. Tell me they're not
Let me
I
see if I can give him a hint.
I don't even know what song you're talking about, what show you're
The song,
relax.
the song we just played was called Moonlighting. But if you get the answer, you might die hard. He was the main actor in Moonlighting. He is.
All right.
You get it? You get it?
Googling. Bruce Willis.
You know me? You
Bruce
are
Willis.
Yeah,
I'm not
Googling.
Really bright.
He not Googling, he
on Facebook.
Yeah. Watch. Google Facebook. You know you're Googling.
When you say Diane, of course I know Diane is Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, you don't get the answer.
Let's take a Let's take a
slow.
We have a few more to go, guys.
Let's go again.
And I know this song.
So a movie? What movie that was for, right?
I don't think that one was
it was not movie.
in a movie.
Not all his movie. No. But some are popular.
Not all his movies.
From a little
Popular
way
songs.
Yeah.
That's a popular
But let me
song.
run it again.
And that's one of the cool things we like about our show. That young lady who was singing there is also the trombonist.
Yes.
So We give people with multiple talents a chance to come and star and front and do some stuff. So, good evening, Kenza.
Yeah. She shocked me.
Can you identify?
I knew her before, but first time I actually heard her sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you and she are in the same or were in the same industry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So let me see who called.
Any guesses?
Let me see who calling there.
Right.
Rufus.
Why you so
Do we have a caller on the line?
Pork business? Is pork business you're talking there?
Yeah, pork business.
Oh, I know. No caller, boy.
Nobody?
Nobody for some pork, boy.
Shall I give it away?
Google, man, up here.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Shaka
Let's
Zulu.
teach
Give it
us,
away.
sir.
Shaka Zulu. Give it
Huh? Oh, me?
Give me a listen or we giving the answer?
Ain't nobody.
Ain't nobody by Shaka Khan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
I know this song. I know that song. That's a popular song.
Right.
Yep.
Next one.
Yeah. But I'm sure they're talking about
back
it.
in the day,
Yeah,
but you know, kind of middle.
You know what? I had a big back TV, but it wasn't black and white.
So here's our next throwback.
We are the children.
But anybody don't know that? Yeah, I don't know.
What song is that, man?
That one, Alistair, man. Don't give me that.
Alistair just playing, you know. Alistair want to song like he young. And he don't know. But he in a radio station.
And he's a DJ.
Yeah. And he's a DJ.
Yeah, you're taking it.
Yeah.
That one too easy. That one too easy. Like bypass that.
Next one.
We are the children.
So next one time.
Now is the time to do the things we say. Now is the time to help in every way. Now is the time.
Yes, sir.
Them songs getting easy now.
Easy.
But I feel this one might be a catch for some people. I'm running it again.
I think so.
I don't think God coming now at me. Who remember the bridge? You remember the bridge?
Right.
But I man there, sir. It's all like
He was there. He was there.
Yeah.
Up in the corner singing out.
There's a flood. A flood.
A flood. No guesses?
No guesses.
You want me tell or
we have a caller coming in.
No.
Nah, I leave the callers to say.
Rubber dub inside.
Attack
Inside.
Attack
Clan. What's the name of the song?
Go on.
Hello.
They're going. Somebody else calling.
Go on.
All right.
Rubber dub inside.
Yes, flood on the main road by Attack Clan.
Yes, man.
Very good.
Nice. Gemma inside again.
That's something like Gemma.
Gemma on the inside again.
She know good
Okay.
music.
You know your music.
Hi, Gemma.
Let me see what's in the
The God coming now at me. Who remember the bridge? You remember the bridge?
Let me see who don't know that
I
one.
know that one at all. First time I hear now.
Boy, go home now.
I too old for that one.
Yeah.
That one was the easiest one.
Yeah, that was too easy. That was too easy.
Let me come off the people TV now. I'm telling you, they want to go.
Let me just give them the clues back.
Remember the bridge?
Alright, so
Eric, I think I was in that production.
I think he was part of this.
Yeah, I was in that production, man.
So Raymond,
Did not remember?
Yes, sir.
Where could people get their hands on more of your music? We have a call coming in before you answer.
Once you date yourself and do your thing and do
Rubber dub inside?
Yes, but is it Cass with Savannah Grass?
Correct.
It wasn't Cass singing. It was QED, but yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
Nicely, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Hi, Raymond. So,
thank you.
How could they get your album? How they could get more of your music? What
Just
about
looking at my stack. No, it's not online. It's available in hard copy.
Right.
There is my album Ray of Hope that is available from me. So you can. I'm just gonna give you my number. You can WhatsApp me, and we'll arrange to get you a copy.
You have a copy that you could hold up to the screen a little bit. Desi's close by.
If you excuse me for a second, I can just grab one. Hang on.
Sure, yeah. And while he's doing that, let me just say hello to Desiree. Des, what happened? Long time no see you. I understand in the next room watching on your thing and you're getting on. But it's good to see you guys. Just say a big hello. How things going on with you? I say I pop in on the side of Raymond Day and just, Patricia Batiste. Look, Patricia now coming.
Hey, Patricia, coming.
Right. So, let me see if I could get this. This one is my album.
All right, Raymond, hold on. Before we get both, you see this lady here? She don't make Skylark. Patricia, all the love from the three of us in the tub to you, my dear.
Me too. Send love from me too.
And from Raymond.
Hi, Patricia.
Good to see you. Yes, Raymond, go ahead.
Right. This album is Ray of Hope. Am I holding it correctly?
Bring it a little more in front. Right. A little more in front. Right. Nice. All that's good. Yeah, all right. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. Yep. That's cool.
So this is a Christmas album that I did some years back. Some great songs on here. It features Wendy Shepherd, Jolene Romaine, Anthony Woodruff Jr., Elliot Francois, Enrico Camejo. It's a must.
What Elliot do?
Elliot drum boy and help to produce.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Who's the guy in the front?
Jason. And this album.
Just look at the
See who's the guy in the front?
Who's the guy in the front? Some fraud named Raymond Edwards, you know.
All right.
Some joker named Raymond Edwards. And then there's this album.
All right.
This is QED Live. So the same three guys you just saw me with.
Yes.
Nigel, Eddie, and me.
Yeah.
This is our debut album, QED Live. These are available. I'll have to double check and make sure because I don't control this one. But if you need it, I have them. I think they're $100 each.
How could people reach you? Easy.
You can give me I'm giving all you my work phone. Please don't bombard me. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you again. If you're messaging me, send me a WhatsApp on 678-1276. I'll give the number again. 868-678-1276. If you want to message me, I will respond to you, and we can arrange where you can get a copy of one of these albums or both if you want. And you can have the music at home. Other than that, we're looking forward to June next year. Pandemic issues related. Once the numbers are looking good, we will be back on stage bringing you more great music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. What are the promotional
copies?
Raymond.
Promotional copies?
Yeah, promotional is only those copies. Yeah, right.
Olha.
The line just got very noisy.
It's after 11.
The line just got very noisy. I couldn't hear you.
Why only interpret dial programming, please?
Hey,
after 11, we have to dial. Raymond, thanks so very much for being a part of it tonight.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Really enjoyed
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
You spent the whole show with me, boy. That was nice.
This is really a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping in, man.
Hey, guys. Next week. Boom.
Yeah, boy, just know. I'll give him a closing billboard here.
No, man, put up your thing fast now. You're supposed to drop it right in. Boom.
Eric, wow.
Yeah, boy,
Jillian wanna go and sleep, you know? Jillian wanna go and sleep. Well, it's a fair guy programming like this.
I'm gonna do it again. I want to go and sleep.
And you're still there?
All right, friends. So you're looking to head out. Until next time.
All right, I will close off with QED as my billboard. Folks, that's it. See you guys next week. Have a good one, Raymond. Thanks again. We will talk soon.
My pleasure.
Blessings.
Go and get checked.
Yes, man.
Everywhere, now is the time.
Yes, sir.
On the main road. Slide on the main road.
I don't think God coming now. Who remember the bridge? You remember the bridge?
I'm scared. vocalist.